The average person is said to spend 15 minutes in the bathroom. Why not take advantage of that time and learn something new? Presenting the 15-minute podcast on weird facts, crazy details, and funny particulars that you'll be able to enjoy while you're taking a on your free time. Welcome to The Shit with Sam Butler. Welcome to another episode of The Shit Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us once again. I have a special guest. You've seen him in another episode, but he's back. He's one of Ciudad Juarez's hardest working stand-up comedians. So it's a pleasure. You got your own podcast too, right?
Yeah, the Chaleco Podcast.
The Chaleco Podcast.
The name of that.
Yeah. So check him out. Let me introduce you. Turi de la Cruz. Welcome.
Thank you, Sam, for inviting me again to this great podcast. I really enjoy listening to this.
Thank you for being here. You know, this is kind of a special episode only because I'm white to a certain degree.
What's the difference between
I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you why this episode is special. It's because I did it in Spanish on the 16th of September, the Independence Day episode, and that was a little special. Okay, and this one is the 4th of July episode.
Okay.
Yeah, the 4th of July was Sunday. It's Tuesday. It's a few days. I hope everybody still has all their fingers from popping fireworks. You know, it's a time for cookouts and
a
family.
lot of work for firefighters.
Yeah. It's a good day for you too. You're a firefighter. I mean,
no, it's not a good day.
It's a good day. You get to do more than sit around the fire station. Yeah. Do you guys celebrate 4th of July in Mexico at all?
No, not really.
Not really, right?
We live in the border, so we just stand to the park to see the fireworks from El Paso, and that's it.
Oh, cool. Well, you're like, if one flies over that fence, I'm getting it.
Yeah. I have family in New Mexico, so many times they invited me to 4th of July. So there's barbecue and
hot dogs.
Fireworks. Yeah, hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
That's the best of the 4th of July, the food.
The food, yeah. You know, food, family. A lot of people get the day off of work.
Yeah.
And I say a lot of people because that's one of the things we're going to talk about is that the 4th of July used to always be a day off. Like nobody was allowed to work. But since they started selling fireworks and they started selling American flag stuff, then it became a good business too. So now people work on the 4th of July. So if you're working on the 4th of July, I hope that you enjoyed your day. And we're gonna there it is. America. Yeah.
America, yeah.
This is the America episode. This is the first time we've had a podcast on the 4th of July, or close to the 4th of July. So I figured let's dedicate it to the 4th of July, and I looked up some weird facts. You know?
Okay.
4th of July, 1946 was Independence Day.
Okay.
For the Philippines from the U.S. You know? I thought I started out with that. We're not the only ones that celebrate the 4th of July. The Philippines had their 4th of July, and they signed the Treaty of Manila, which released them in 1946. So cool. That's like right after World War II. So I guess they were really happy, you know.
Yeah. I suppose.
I know they were. They were involved. They were involved in the process of trying the Japanese in the Tokyo trials after World War II. So we were allies. I mean, they were part of. They were a territory of the U.S. and they became independent on July 4th, 1946. Now, something a lot of people don't know: we didn't even declare independence on the 4th of July. We declared it on the 2nd of July. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's when it was signed, but it wasn't published anywhere. So we had already declared it for 2 days. Nobody knew, and then it was published.
The media engineer he was just being lazy.
Yeah. So the declaration was published in the papers on July 4th, and that's the day that we officially announced it to the world. That
if you think like, okay, we already signed this. Let's do like a lot of copies so we can spare this to the world. So it will take 2 days to do all those copies. So that sounds...
Yeah, especially if you're like doing it by hand, you know. But
yeah.
We are talking about 1776. But the thing is that it wasn't... This is another weird fact. It wasn't signed by everyone on July 2nd, 1776.
Okay.
It was only signed by 2. Right? So it took a month to get everyone to sign the Declaration of Independence.
So they published it
before it was completely signed.
What? Okay.
Right? So that's a weird fact, right? Because you think, and then a lot of people, this is something that threw me off when I was a teenager. I realized that we didn't become independent on July 4th, 1776. We declared independence. Then we went to war.
But I think they already know that everyone we're going to sign the independence.
Yeah, we're going to declare our independence.
Yeah, because they tell everyone in their WhatsApp.
In the WhatsApp page,
yeah.
In the group. Yeah.
I think that's why.
That's what happened. Definitely, that's what happened. But they declared independence on July 2nd is when they first signed it. When they had the Declaration of Independence, when they signed it.
Okay.
The first signer, the guy's name was John Hancock. John Hancock. And if you, I don't know if you've heard this before, but whenever you have to sign a document, they'll say, "Hey, why don't you put your John Hancock on there?"
Okay.
And it's a reference to him being, and he was right in the middle of the Declaration of Independence, and it was the biggest name because he was the first guy to sign it.
I'm the only one that is gonna sign this. Like,
yeah.
Well, you're the first one. It's like when you sign the beer hall.
The beer hall,
Well,
yeah, yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, I wasn't the first one, but I think I had the biggest signature there.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. And it's cool because they put curtains over it now, so that's crazy. But but yeah, he signed as John Hancock. Cool. So that's a couple of weird facts. Now we didn't have the current flag. The flag that we have now, the flag that's up there, we didn't have that till 1960.
The stars and bars.
Yeah. So in 1958, a history teacher assigned a class assignment to redesign the national flag as both Alaska and Hawaii neared statehood.
Okay.
Robert G. Heft, who was 16 at the time, designed the new flag using the old 48 star flag and $2.87 worth of blue cloth and white iron-on material. And his design earned him a B-. Right.
That's a good
story, right? Yeah. He got a B- in history, But what he did is he challenged it by sending it to Washington, D.C. to be considered by President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Nice.
Right?
That's interesting.
And of thousands to submit the flag design, he was the only person who actually stitched it together on a flag and shipped it to D.C. So everybody else drew it. He actually made a flag.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
And once the flag was selected, he got an A. And
he did.
Yeah, nice. He did. He got an A. They were like, okay, because his design got selected, and it became the official flag in 1960.
1960.
So the Stars and Stripes with the 50 stars was adopted in 1960.
Yeah, they just added the stars.
He's like, I just add 2 more. Yeah. I always wondered that because that was something that as a kid I always said, well, they got all 50 there, but Alaska and Hawaii weren't always a state. What happens if Puerto Rico joins? Because Puerto Rico is a territory of the U.S. and they're kind of divided on whether they want to be. Some people want to become a state, the other people don't. They're like, no, we're independent. We're Puerto Rico. We're a territory of the United States. So what happens? Where do you add the extra star?
I don't know.
Maybe
the post or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Another interesting fact about the 4th of July: Americans will enjoy 150 million hot dogs during the 4th of July. 150 million, which sounds like a lot, but there's 325 million people in the U.S., so that's like less than half having, and nobody has just one hot dog. So maybe that's like 1/4 of the country's having a hot dog on the 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah, I like hot dogs, but
too.
I don't necessarily eat them on the 4th of July. I eat them like random times, Matter of fact, I just posted. I was in Chicago and I posted pictures of me eating hot dogs in Chicago because they're delicious.
Great, man.
Yeah, but they do.
I would like to do a tour in the U.S. just for eating hot dogs.
Really?
That's a dream.
That's a new podcast we might start. Call it the hot dog tour. And
that will be interesting.
Then we'll do the hot dog tour part 1, and then we'll hit all the clubs. You know, there's New York hot dogs, there's Chicago dogs. They're different. They're good though. You know, and then we can just like hit the whole country and eat hot dogs everywhere, and then we can then go international and do the taco tour in Mexico, and we just hit tacos all over the country. You know, I think that's a goal.
That will be interesting.
You down, bro, or what?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
That's great. Yes.
Yeah.
I have to do my passport papers.
Yeah, as soon as they open up the borders, I thought they were going to be open already. You know, we miss you guys in the United States. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
Yeah, we're tired of you guys driving slow in the left lane. You know? We miss.
I miss Ross.
We miss going. Yeah, get the fuck out! You know,
Stupid Mexican.
yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually something written on the back of the Declaration of Independence. Is another weird fact, and what it says, it's not like a treasure map or anything like that. But the History Channel says that on the back it reads, "Original Declaration of Independence," and it's dated 4th of July, 1776. And that was a mystery. They're like, why does it say that on the back of the Declaration of Independence? Why on the back? And they realized that they probably rolled it up.
Yeah.
And they wrote it on there so you know which document it was, since all of them looked the same back then.
Well, okay, that has sense.
You see that with construction plans all the time.
Uh-huh.
They actually have what they call a title bar on construction plans, so that you get a pile of them and you can pull one out and go, okay, this is the job I'm looking for.
Even the quality of the paper didn't let you to fold it or do something, and there was not folders that size. So, so they rolled the papers.
Yeah, no one knows who wrote it, but that's what they think happened. You know, one of the people that signed the Declaration of Independence, Richard Stockton, a lawyer from New Jersey.
Okay.
He actually recanted his signature. It turns out he got arrested by the British and they were torturing him. And he says, okay, I take it back. I take it back.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, and they finally let him out of prison. He was in prison until November 1776. And after years of abuse, because he was in prison November 1776, and after years of abuse, they finally let him out. But he got out to realize that the British had stolen his land. They'd burned down all his stuff. They had taken everything from him.
Okay.
So,
that sucks.
And he had one of the most extensive libraries in the colonies. Okay. So he had all these great books and knowledge, and it was all gone, burned to the ground.
That's so sad.
Yeah. I'm 45 years old, which I think is pretty cool. That I've made it this far, you know. I know I have friends that haven't made it this far, and I hope to make it a lot further. But 45 is an age where you kind of feel old, but you really don't. Like you realize that you still feel young, but you realize you have limitations, right?
Okay.
And then you also start to get this feeling that you should have done more with your life. I don't know if that you'll get there.
Yeah.
To where you go, dang, I'm 45. I've only got 20 to 30 functional years. Where am I at? What have I done? What do I have to? So you start to hit. Okay, so the average age of the sign.
Anxious now, right?
Yeah, I'm making you anxious. Hey, I started stand up when I was 33.
Okay.
I was 33. I started late. In the stand up community, I was the old guy. Everybody else was in their 20s. So I kind of regret starting at 33, but I put in a lot of work at 33, and at 45, I'm where I think I'm doing pretty good with it. But it's one of those things that had I started 10 years earlier, who knows where I'd be right now? Yeah. But 45, I don't feel that accomplished yet. Well, these guys, the average guy that signed the Declaration of Independence was 45 years old. One of the signers was 56. Yeah.
56. Okay.
Yeah, he Thomas Lynch Jr. and Edward Rutledge of South Carolina were only 26. Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania was the oldest signer at 70 years old.
Benjamin Franklin, okay.
Yeah, so he was 70.
70.
So you had a range of 26-year-olds to 70-year-olds that signed the Declaration of Independence. Yeah. The Declaration of Independence was written, you weren't too far off on that WhatsApp. comment. It was written on a laptop, but not what you think of a laptop. But it actually had a desk that sat on your lap, and it was written on that desk.
Oh, okay, nice.
Well, it was a 1776 laptop. And who wrote it? Thomas Jefferson. He drafted it. You knew that.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's pretty good because that's like American history and not Mexican history.
Yeah, but I see a lot of American movies.
Cool.
That's why.
One of the things, people love fireworks. According to the American Pyrotechnics Association, Americans spend more than $1 billion on fireworks each year. Right?
Yeah,
out of this, only 10% of firework displays are set off professionally, which probably accounts for the estimated 12,900 firework-related emergency room visits across the country. So you get about 12,900 emergency room visits.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do when my kids were little, for the 4th of July, since it was summertime, they were out of school, we would actually make it a point to be in Los Angeles. We would go to Disneyland because they had the best fireworks displays.
Yeah, that would be
right.
Awesome.
So that was, I mean, they have fireworks every night.
Yeah.
But the 4th of July fireworks, if you ever get a chance, even if you don't go in the park, just go to Anaheim, park in a parking lot, and it's the most amazing thing you ever saw, the Disneyland fireworks. And we would make it a point to go every year. We'd go watch the fireworks. We weren't very big on popping fireworks ourselves, but we'd sit there and it's just this amazing fireworks show.
Damn, that's like the Super Bowl of the fireworks.
Yeah. So, according to Fortune magazine, of those injuries, the 12,900 occurring between June and July, almost 70% were experienced by men.
Okay.
I think we're all like, hey, check this out. Spoof, right?
Yeah. There goes the fingers.
Yeah. Now, on Independence Day in 1778, George Washington decided that he would kind of treat his soldiers, and he ordered them double rations of rum for that day. So they got to get wasted. So I think alcohol, fireworks, and hot dogs go hand in hand for the 4th of July. Yeah. Fireworks started as a tradition in 1777, right? That was the first anniversary of fireworks. John Adams wrote a letter to his wife, Abigail. He wanted Independence Day to be celebrated. And John Adams was the president, so he wanted Independence Day to be celebrated. I don't know if he was the president in 1777. I think it was George Washington. But he was on his way, with parade, shows, and illuminations. So that's what happened. He thought Independence Day would be July 2nd.
Okay.
Now, Independence Day, the official national census was not completed till 1790. So there was only 2.5 million people in the entire country back then. There's 325 million as of 2017.
Oh, okay.
Now, I know here in Mexico, you're not allowed to wear the Mexican flag, right?
No.
Is there any problems if you wear the Mexican flag? Do people do anything to you? Do you get arrested? Can you go to jail?
It's not really, but you get like...
ugly stares or what?
No, they just like... if the army saws you, they just give you an advertisement. So you don't supposed to do that because it's something that you have to respect.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a national symbol.
It's a national symbol. Well, the same law applies in the United States.
Really?
Really, you're not supposed to have clothing. You're not supposed to have anything.
Use underwear with the American flag. What happened with that?
The thing is that nobody enforces it. It's almost like, you're not supposed to, but who cares? Let's do it.
Even the Mexican flag don't even have to touch the floor. Never. Yeah. And if you want to get rid of one, you have to burn it and do like a
whole ceremony.
Whole ceremony for that.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like I like you'll see on the set, I like flags. I think that they're not so much for national pride, but I think they're representative of people from all over the place. And I love them. I love having stuff with the Mexican flag, but I don't know. I mean, I travel a lot in Mexico. I feel weird. Like, am I going to get like in trouble for it?
Yeah.
3 U.S. presidents died on the 4th of July. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe.
Like,
but what's weird is that Adams and Jefferson both died July 4th, 1826, 5 hours apart from each other, exactly 50 years later.
Okay,
that's crazy, right?
Yeah,
it's almost like, okay, we're done with you. You know. Other countries celebrate the 4th of July: Denmark, England, Norway, Portugal, and Sweden. And they do this because there's a lot of their citizens that have immigrated to the United States.
Yeah,
and there's also a lot of expats in their countries, and they also want to generate U.S. tourism in their countries.
Okay.
So that's why I was asking, do you guys celebrate the 4th of July?
No, I don't think Americans want to. Well, there's like a few Americans who wants to live in Mexico. So
yeah, are you familiar with the Liberty Bell?
Nah.
The Liberty Bell is in Philadelphia, and it cracked, but it's to symbolize liberty. Well, they ring it 13 times on the 4th of July to honor the original 13 colonies. Okay, so that's a weird fact. And I'm going to wrap it up because we are running out of time, although this is a very special occasion for us. But the 4th of July, one time in history, was celebrated on July 5th. Yeah? The holiday fell on a Sunday in 1779, and everybody was religious back then, so they decided to celebrate on the 5th.
Come on.
And with that, we wrap up this episode of the Shit Podcast. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Independence Day. I think it was good that we... the thing is that a lot of people talk trash. A lot of people in other countries talk trash about the U.S., but, the U.S. stood up to England. And that's pretty good,
Yeah.
And the English hated us for a long time. Actually, this whole thing, I started reading a thread on the War of 1812 and how we were still fighting the English and the Canadians and a bunch of different people. So it's one of those things that, bravo for achieving independence. Mm-hmm. The same as 16th of September, the independence of Mexico.
Yeah.
And I'm from both places, so I'm happy to be part of these
two independent
countries. So it's the way it goes, man. No kings, no monarchy. We're a democratic countries, even though we have our flaws.
Yeah.
And with that, it's great to be here doing this podcast, to have the freedom to do the podcast, to have the freedom to do it in Mexico, and to have the freedom to do it in the U.S. It's amazing. So I'm proud or happy to be able to do that. So, and I'm happy to be able to have friends in other countries. And so, not that you can't be from London and do that, but it's cool. It's cool. It's a little bit further and harder to do around here. But with that being said, that wraps up this episode. Where can people find you on your social media?
You can find me in every media as El Turi Cata, and that's it.
All right. And you can find me as Tu Amigo Sam. That's TU Amigo Sam on all my social media platforms and my YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, leave your comments. Let us know what you thought of the episode. If you have additional facts, drop them down. If you want to make some funny memes, make some funny memes. You can follow us on our Facebook page, Los Cagadienses. Leave your stuff there. I like stuff that's not necessarily toilet related. So if you guys have stuff, that'd be great. And you can find me on all social media platforms. As Tu Amigo Sam already said that, but you can find the podcast on Spotify and podcast platforms as Está Cagado Podcast. And that wraps us up. So thank you for coming once again.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's cool. You all have a good day. We'll talk to you later.
USA, baby!
Eat hot dogs.